Hey, it's Nate with Big Ha Homestead. This week's project, we're working on a reverse osmosis system. This will be the third year that I make maple syrup. The big part is with maple syrup, you have to do, it's a lot of sap to syrup ratio, and it's approximately, depending on the trees, about a 40-to-1 ratio. So for 40 gallons of sap that I collect, I will get about a gallon of syrup. Does vary depending on how good your trees are producing. I have one tree that does pretty good. It actually sits right by a water source, and it makes a lot of sap. Now, this is to help with that because boiling it down takes forever. And so each year that I've done it, I've had to sit there, I boil it, I keep pouring more and more into it to try to get it to boil down, and then I bring it into the house and finish it. I haven't done the thermometer. I haven't done any kind of gauges for sugar. This year actually is going to be the first year that I'm going to keep the temperature to where it needs to be. I'm also going to go ahead and measure it for the amount of sugar content so I can get the correct consistency. Now, a lot of it's been done by taste and by looking at it and like letting a little bit cool down to see how thick it is. And so far it's been pretty successful for making syrup. But with this, the boiling process actually gets greatly reduced. This can take about, it can really take out about 25 to 40%. I think that I've read up on it. So you can cut your boiling down by over half by doing reverse osmosis. And you can also do it without losing any flavor. And so that's one of the big parts I want to do, and I'll share that process with you once we get it all set up. Hopefully this Sunday, we're supposed to go through about a 2-week window of warmer weather where it goes to freezing and then warming during the day. Typically in the mountains here in northwest North Carolina, it's usually February where we get our key time to actually do the syrup production. And the window that we get can be very small because very quickly we can transition from hard winter into where we no longer get to freezing. And we have seen that in March where all of a sudden we're hitting 60s for the highs and we're hitting 45 for the low. And it's not optimal for sap. To get the best sap, you want it to go freezing at night and then the warm up during the day so that the tree thaws and then releases its yummy goodness for us to harvest. With that said, let's go ahead and get to it. I can explain all the hookup we're doing, and let's reverse osmosis. All right, so the first step is I cut the wood here. We're gonna go ahead and mount these pieces on here so that I can mount these other things to it. They have a little beefier screw because these are gonna get heavy once they get water, so I wanna be able to get it through about an inch worth of wood. So that's the plan here. So let's get to it. All right, so we're now in the next part here. I'm gonna go ahead and, I think I forgot my tape measure. So we're gonna go ahead and get a tape to make sure they're all level. So we'll put those on. Found that already. This screws on to there. And then the pump goes on there. So we're gonna mount that pump on there. And that'll be the next step. But easy peasy so far. Pieces here. And make sure they're spaced how I want them to be spaced. Doing about 2 inches off at each end, and then I'll center out the other one That was weird. Lost my measurement. Oh, no, I didn't lose it. Be a little bit off. That's 4 inches. The side's just shy of 4 inches. Sweet. I'm not doing totally accurate measurements because, like, what this is, I'm not looking for a perfect symmetry. Might drive someone crazy if I don't do it, but and then these puppies just snap in place. Voila! So we got that mounted, those are mounted. Now let's mount that motor on here, and might need to get a little bigger screw maybe. Let's see how this works out. I'm a little concerned it's not gonna do what I... Yeah, seems to be working. All right, done. So we have all the parts mounted. Now it's the next part is I gotta thread everything in, cut the hoses to size, and get those on there. But that is progress moving along. All right, we're working on the next part here. Starting to put some of the connectors on. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll probably do a time lapse here and start installing all the little bits and pieces. So I'm gonna get to it now. Okay, so we got all the connections in there. I haven't finished putting all the little locks in, but that is essentially done. So I'm going to do a couple more things here, and then we'll wrap it up. So here we go. All right, so we are now going to go ahead and mount it over here to this wall. I put this in because, again, I'm doing it myself, so I can't really hold it up very easily on my own. So I'm going to go ahead and lift it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and screw it on there. And hopefully everything holds and does good. I know it's not flush with the wall, but I don't really care about that because there's a workbench over here, so it doesn't have to be flush with the wall. And this is probably the only spot I really have to do a proper mounting, I guess you could say. So hopefully we can get it to hold here, and then I can get a couple other screws, because it will get heavy once it gets a bunch of water in there. Sweet, there it goes. And put one in here. And with that, I can back this out. I can reuse that screw. Should be about right there. And we'll put one down here. Ah! Got caught on everything. And I will do one more screw up here in this corner. And we will try to do one more screw again up in this corner. Ooh. All right, so it is mounted, which is good. It's what we want. But that's there it is on the wall. It's all hooked up, good to go. I am short on some of these blue pieces here. I have them ordered. A guy online that I did it from, I think he had the wrong link and I ordered it. I didn't realize it, or I missed one of his links. But that is up on the wall, and the reason I put it here is this is my chest freezer, but I should be able to put a bucket. I should be able to hold 3 5-gallon buckets, because currently that's kind of the volume I'm doing. But in future state, I do plan to remove that rack, scoot the freezer over, and then I can do bigger buckets here and do the reverse osmosis in this room. And I did choose the garage because the garage is going to be a cooler spot for it as well. But now it's just time to go ahead and get me some sap and turn this thing on. Excited. All right, everybody. It's Nate with Big Ha Homestead. I appreciate you all watching. I hope this helps you create another system. I will link to all the components that we used on there on the video as well, so that way you know what you are actually getting. And I will make sure that you have the link for these little blue 1/4 inch parts as well. But all in all, probably gonna be about 3 or 4 days till I get to actually run something through here, because I do have to get the syrup, or sap, sap, to create the syrup, and that should be going on this weekend. So I might go out today, definitely Sunday I'll be going out to go ahead and tap all those trees. But with that, I appreciate you all watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one.